This documentary will be analysing the luxury brand industry and will be focusing on how consumer behaviour influences the market and businesses such as Louis Vuitton. The documentary will primarily be focusing on the success of Louis Vuitton and the effects that consumers have on the organisation overall. There are a large number of studies on consumer decision making. However, the attention of the research will be mainly on the perception and consumer decision making. These will not be reviewed in detail, but will, however, be mentioned when suitable. So, who are Louis Vuitton? Well, Louis Vuitton is a French fashion house that was founded in 1845 by Louis Vuitton Maletier. The company has held the title for the world's most valuable luxury brand for more than a decade, beating its competitors such as Chanel and Gucci. The brand's most famous products include underwear, clothing, footwear, sunglasses, but are most famously known for their handbags and suitcases. Unlike any other suitcase, Louis Vuitton have specifically made them with non-wooden canvas, making it much lighter than any other suitcase on the market. He also made sure that the top surface was flat so that consumers could stack their luggage on top of each other, making sure that the consumers' possessions don't get broken or squashed. Many call this design the birth of the modern suitcase. Its limited edition handbags and suitcases can cost upwards of £55,000, making them one of the most expensive luxury brands and products on the market. The founder's initials are printed on almost all of its products, giving it the staple look when seen. The monogram is one of the most valuable trademarks in the world. The company was estimated of being worth $28.4 trillion, in addition to having a sales revenue of $9.4 trillion. So how has a French fashion house become one of the most successful luxury brands within the world? Well, from day one, the business has always made sure that the quality is a core aspect within every single Louis Vuitton product. The business creates products that are exceptional quality and that have been crafted with exceptional care. Every single handbag on the market is handmade, even when operating on a large scale. Exclusivity is another secret to their success. The business has always tried to counter mass products but produce a short-term limited edition series. This allows and makes sure that not everyone will own the same bag. Having exclusivity within the business causes a buzz, making consumers want to crave the latest bag, therefore spend more money. The scarcity makes products even more desirable than they originally are. Louis Vuitton keeps on inventing itself by adapting its needs to its customers. Its cooperation with well-known designers and celebrities such as Pharrell Williams, Emma Stone, and Wiz Khalifa have allowed limited edition lines to be developed and created, which has further helped the brand to connect to new and younger audiences, as well as helping its overall marketing strategy. Here we have an example of a Louis Vuitton celebrity collaboration of Emma Stone. So this example of celebrity endorsement shows Emma Stone, the actress, being able to have produced her own perfume line with Louis Vuitton. The luxury brand aims to target its products to wealthy individuals aged from 18 to 60 years old, but more specifically produce products for both males and females. The average Louis Vuitton consumer is a part of the upper economic and social class and is fashionably aware. This means that they are very conscious to what they wear, how they dress, and how they style themselves. The company specifically targets on a global scale but pays particular attention to the West and Central of Europe. The French fashion house has received a huge success in China due to their high expenditure on luxury goods. The company aimed to target customers who have a luxurious lifestyle, so their interests will mainly include fashion, arts, and music. In order to push their consumers to further purchases, Louis Vuitton have regularly stated as an organization that one Louis Vuitton item in the closet looks lonely. This gives the consumers the impression that they need to purchase another Louis Vuitton item, causing an increase in sales for the business, as well as being able to target them. Journalists have stated that consumer behavior is a study of individuals, organizations, and groups, and the processes that they all individually go through to help satisfy their needs and wants. These processes have a major impact on the consumers and the society within. It's important that businesses such as Louis Vuitton build a relationship with its customers, as well as create and allow customers to feel wanted and heard. Building itself onto its customers' ideas and needs will allow the business to never face failure. As a concept, consumer behavior is one of the most important things for business such as Louis Vuitton. Furthermore, the business is very positive due to its consumer behavior having the availability to connect culturally, socially, and emotionally towards all its customers. But what does this all mean? Well, this shows that consumers are more comfortable with the business and are willing to share their opinions and their thoughts on the products and services which are being provided to them. Because of this, there has been a positive change in consumer behavior within one of Louis Vuitton's most crucial markets, China. With China's rise within its economy, the net worth for individuals has grown massively. It has been estimated that by 2025, Chinese consumers will account for over 40% of Louis Vuitton sales. This has occurred due to the strong relationship between China and the luxury brand market. Louis Vuitton is able to test and trial their products within the Chinese market, as the Chinese consumers are a lot more biased and loyal. So what consumer behavior theories are used by Louis Vuitton, and how does it influence their consumer behavior towards their business? Well, one of the theories used is consumer purchase decision process. The model consists of 5 stages: a needed recognition, search, alternative evaluation, purchases, and outcomes. So what this means is that where do they essentially buy the products? So that'll be online or in store. Why they want to buy it, to fulfill their needs and wants. When they buy it, so when is the most convenient time for them to purchase it. Where they buy it, whether that's online or in store. How they buy it, so why that's the website or a link from their social media accounts. How they buy it, so the frequency of how often they buy the products. How often the product is used, so how often do they go out using a handbag, or how often do they use a card holder or the perfume. How they evaluate the products, so after the purchases, what do they do, how do they store it, how do they look after it, what do they think of it. How they dispose of the products, the durability of it, do they later on sell it after wearing it for a couple of years, do they go out and buy another one after a couple of months. And how they decide for future purchases, so whether are they a loyal customer, or do they look at reviews online and see what other consumers have said about the company. Okonkwo stated that although consumers have changed throughout the years, they are now becoming more demanding, meaning that Louis Vuitton will have to be on their feet to keep up with consumer demands in order to be and remain a successful business. Luxury brands do not base on rational or convenience, but instead they are there to meet a sense of desire. The post-purchase decision is said to be non-existent, since the focus is on satisfaction, which is what Louis Vuitton provide. Their main aim is to make sure that their consumers are satisfied with their products, whether that's meaning increasing the prices or decreasing the line of products being sold. Consumer involvement is also used throughout the whole business. Consumer involvement is the consumer's perception of how they're involved within the product. So that means, do they have a high or low involvement consumers, or do they have a high and low involvement of purchases? Well, for Louis Vuitton, they have a high involvement on consumers and they have a high involvement on purchases. Due to the increase of branding throughout the world and China being 40% of their sales, they are receiving a lot more consumers and a lot more involvement within purchases. The company has also understood the psychology of perception, which has helped them allow to create a huge persona, hence why they have one of the world's most major luxury brands on the market. The company also uses cognitive, product, message response, and ego involvement within their business scheme. But what does this all mean? Well, cognitive involvement is where the person is motivated to learn all they can about the product. So we have a lot of consumers that know a lot about Louis Vuitton. They tend to do the research before purchasing the product. Product involvement is when the consumer has a level of interest in making a particular purchase. So for Louis Vuitton, consumers have to think about before buying the product, as they are very expensive. Message response involvement is when the consumer's interest is mainly in processing marketing communications. So whether that be reaching out to their social media accounts, looking at reviews on their YouTube channels, seeing what other consumers and customers have to say about their products. And finally, ego involvement, which is the importance of a product to a consumer's self-concept. So how will these products help them personally? Will it help them? Will it make them happy? Will they make them feel a sense of luxurious and pampering? Finally, the motivation process. Louis Vuitton used the motivation process to retrieve a better understanding of their consumers and help them understand how to follow an action plan to meet their needs. The process also helps Louis Vuitton understand their consumer behavior overall. Surveys have shown that the Louis Vuitton's consumers are motivationally satisfied with hedonic needs. Hedonic needs are consumed for luxury purposes, so products that are desirable objects that allow them to feel more pleasure, fun, and enjoyment from buying the product. Surveys have also shown that 46% of consumers said that they feel pampered, celebrate success, and express individuality when they purchase a product, and these consumers have an inwards approach to the business. So what this means that they tend to be more loyal, as it helps them feel more happy, and happiness creates more sales and better customer satisfaction. So what does this all show? Well, as we can see, the documentary has helped us gain an insight on Louis Vuitton as a business and how they use consumer behavior theories within their business model. It influences their consumers a lot towards their behavior towards their businesses, since consumers feel more relaxed and ease and feel more in touch with the business, since the business helps understand their consumers' needs and wants. They prioritize their consumers' needs and wants, which makes the consumers even more happy, as they feel like they are achieving something and that they are more loyal to the brand. By doing this, it provides many advantages for the company as well as the consumers. So for the company, it's an increase in sales. It helps them create new ideas for the business that consumers might want to see. It also allows them to understand their consumers and help gain a better understanding of what changes need to be made, whether that's within the manufacturing process, within the marketing process, within their materials. It can help the company a lot. And the advantages for the consumers is that they help retrieve an understanding and feel like they're being heard by the company, which is what every consumer wants, which makes them tend to come back more because they feel like the company is more loyal to them. But overall, we can tell that consumer behavior is a major aspect within Louis Vuitton's business cycle, and it does overall influence their consumer behavior a lot. And the theories used within it gives an overall better understanding and a better perception on consumer decision making. So now I'll be talking about self-reflection. So what I've learned throughout the module, how I feel like it's helped me understand what I've learned, what I haven't learned, and what improvements could be made throughout the whole documentary. So overall, the journey of learning and understanding the concept of consumer behaviour has helped me a lot, as it has allowed me to understand the importance of it and how big businesses and organisations such as Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Gucci, all these companies need it within their business model. Furthermore, it helped me understand the importance of it, as it helped me understand the marketing aspect within the business and also helped me understand what influences consumers' buying decisions. So for instance, in Louis Vuitton, it would be the quality of the product or the aftertaste of the product. So the quality of the product will help with the consumer behavior. So if a consumer feels like the quality is a lot better than its competitors, then the most likely will come back, they'll feel satisfied with the product, they'll feel more loyal to the brand. And the aftertaste of the products, how the treatment they got after purchasing it. So whether they received a great service in store, whether the delivery was great, so on and so forth. When first starting the documentary, it felt as if many other businesses had similar consumer behaviour theories. However, when I dwelled into the research of Louis Vuitton as an overall company, I started to realise that not all consumers behave the same way within all businesses. Each market creates different needs and wants to its customers, therefore making it different to each other. So for instance, the food market will have different needs and wants, the technological market will have different needs and wants, the clothing retailing industry will have different needs and wants, all industries will have different needs and wants, but it's important that they understand those needs and wants and help understand their consumers' behaviour. This has also helped me understand that the luxury brand market will have more prestigious needs and wants. When finishing the documentary, it gave me a sufficient understanding and overview of the topic and made me realise how important consumer behaviour is for organisation as well as the actual consumer. When finishing the documentary, I felt a sense of accomplishment, as this is the first time I've ever done an assignment like this before. Although I don't have any background history with filming and recording documentaries, I did try my best to make it look as good as possible. Overall, I'd say I've managed to learn a lot within the past 10 to 11 weeks. Most of the different theories and models used to analyse consumer behaviour, but in addition, the importance of globalisation within consumer behaviour. The content learned over the period also helped me gain an insight to the psychological aspect of global consumers as well as their thoughts, feelings and decision-making behaviour. However, there are a few improvements that could have been made throughout the whole documentary. For instance, there could have been a sufficient amount of quality of data added from customers of Louis Vuitton, or maybe those who don't shop within the company, to retrieve an understanding as to why they don't. Also, I feel that the overall flow of the documentary could have been a lot better, but like I said previously, this is the first time I've ever done a documentary, so obviously now we're learning for next time. But overall, I feel like it gave me a good insight. The documentary helped me understand a better understanding of consumer behaviour and helped me understand the small, minor details in consumer behaviour marketing.